Hola. I have sorry. I should not be making that joke. Anyway, welcome. We are back. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what came over me. But I decided I was going to stop streaming for a while. And look where that got me. I'm back here again. And look where that got me. You can hear me. May or may not be back again. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on who you ask. And I know who I'm asking, that's for sure. I'm asking myself. I'm asking you. Yoo-hoo. YT. That's our Witcher reference if you don't understand that one. That's okay. Sometimes I feel like I don't understand you. You're just so all-encompassing. I can never understand you the way you want me to. Anyway, so, hi everyone. Today we are gonna game for a minute and a bit. I believe it is time to try and beat this man's. The only issue is that I want to change some of my talismans right now. Let me put on the two-handed talisman if I have it. We are so back, brother. That's right. We are so back. Enhances the effect of two-handed weapons. How have you been, man? It's been a minute and a bit. A bit of a minute, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I don't know if I'm going to continue streaming Elden Ring. I think it's kind of hopeless to be streaming this game. But I have good news. I have other Souls games I can play. Theoretically, hypothetically. Anyway, so, but, you know, for today, I'm just gonna stick with Elden Ring. Fuck it. I looked on the... I looked on the Elden Ring stream page on Twitch. Bro, you have to fucking scroll to find my stream. It's crazy. You have to scroll. It's absolutely insane. So, I don't think it's worth it. I mean, relying on Twitch for discovery is kind of ass anyway, but you know how it is. So, yeah, it has been, I think, literally a month. So I am going to suck at this fight. I am absolutely ass right now, but it's okay. It's a learning process. We are here for games. Hypothetically. We can heal. I don't know the timings at all, man. It's over. No! I don't know the timings, man. It's over. I'm washed, bro. I'm washed. I used to be good at video games, depending on who you asked. Probably not me. Give or take. Maybe like, you know, 3% good? Like 3 out of 100? It's time to retire, bro. It is. It's the first fight back after a month. I got 3 hits in and died. It's over. It's over for me. You didn't hear that. I did not just open Discord right now. I would never open Discord on stream. I ain't about that life. I may be mentally disassociated right now, but I'm down to associate with you if you know what I'm saying. Maybe, sorry. Alright, 43 of 44. I don't know if I'm gonna update it like every single time I die. I might just like keep a number in my head. Let's go to 45. Oh shit. I didn't drink my thing. It's too slow. Oh, he has the Impaler move. I forgot. Look at those Impaler moves. Mesmer's easy, bro. What the hell? How can you struggle against this guy? Might kill, yeah. I can't believe he can do this like mid-thing. Mid-fight. Oh, I didn't do the double. Okay, I knew it was coming, but I didn't know the timing. What the hell? Yo, Mesmer, easy as shit, bro. I'm gonna get him next time, just you watch. Next run's the run. Easy as shit, bro. I can't believe people struggle on this game. Wow, terrible. 45. I just need to know when I can do a full heavy and when I can't. This is a full heavy. But also I need to dodge, which I haven't been doing. Gay. I saw so many people get so angry that Trump won. Like, people are crying and shit. It's crazy to me, man. Dude, how am I messing the timing up on that? It's so crazy to me that people are crying. But I guess again, I'm not American, so I didn't know his policies, but looking at his new fucking like, he released like 2 videos about all the things he's gonna do in America once he gets into the chair. Damn, that is some... I see now. I understand. I understand why people were crying. I understand. Oh, he got me. Oh, it's over, dude. I'm washed. I think that's 2 deaths. Mesmer's flame. I can't believe the orange man is present again. I know. I know. I'm not American either. I'm like pseudo-American. I'm basically American though. I'm Canadian. It's basically just America. America 2.0. America North. That's a good name for it. You can heal, theoretically. Or not. I just like watching people cry. I know it makes me a terrible person, but it's funny. Ouch. That was a bad idea. I didn't know what the end of that combo was. I just gotta... Yeah, okay, 48. I might just add them in groups of 5. Oh god, I keep forgetting. Too soon! I should have probably just healed there, honestly. Got away with it. Let's go. How am I missing the timing on this? Okay, just like
in the embrace.
Double tap it. Double tap it. Double tap it. That's one extra. Okay. Big Orange Man is president again. That was not... Well, actually that was on my bingo card. I was like 70% sure he would win. What was not on my bingo card is apparently Asmongold is playing Metaphor Refantasio. And he says he's going to play Persona 3 after. That was not on my bingo card. I was not expecting that shit. I would never have expected Asmongold to like an Atlas game. Ouchie. It's over for me. Actually, I got through that. Holy shit. Heal. You just miss so many attacks. It's... Well, to be fair, that was like the first attack I missed, though. Too soon. Heal. That's probably a bad idea, actually. Oh, I forgot, I got a buff, which I have not been using. No wonder I'm not doing any damage. It's over. How did he miss me there? Oh. At least we're making progress. Big orange man. Big orange man is present. What's funny to me is that, like, a lot of his policies so far have been anti-LGBTQ. It's crazy. I just saw. Some of it is funny. Just need to heal. I'll come back. Perfect. He's gonna get me. Fuck. Okay, so if at any point I get hit by the grab, I'm literally dead. L plus ratio. L plus ratio. Oh fuck. I went in too early. So washed, it's over for me, man. Oh, he did the impaler move, it's over. Need to heal twice, actually. Yes, while I haven't been streaming, I have not been playing Elden Ring. This is okay, right? I can get away with this. No. Death in the embrace of Mesmer's flame. 53. Alright. I don't think there's even a good window to actually do this buff at all. I can't believe I actually got hit by any of that, I'm not gonna lie. Jesus. Surely you're still better than Asmon Gold. You know? Yeah. Probably. Maybe? I lost all confidence in myself, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I lost the confidence. I'm not confident anymore. It's over. Yeah. What? Oh, in a bit. There's some food. If I'm hungry. I will go down in a bit. Ow.
grace of God shall in the embrace of Mesmer's
I think they changed Mesmer's voice actor like mid development. There's all these like little hints that this DLC was a little bit rushed, just a wee bit. Like if you watch all the trailers, it looks a bit different than what you see in the final game. Let's see. Just a wee bit. Damn. My timing wasn't good enough. Impaler Mesmer. I think I'm going to switch to the other weapon. That buff is just kind of annoying. Like it runs out too quickly. I think I'm at 57. That buff runs out too quickly. Just gonna switch to the other one. I'd rather just take the extra damage. Well, actually, I don't think it does extra damage. We'll see. Hold on. 1900 for the last one, right? So, let's see what we do with this. Or was it 1700? I think it was 1700 fully charged R2. Oh yeah, we do more with this. Damn. Damn. But the charge attack is slightly slower. Okay, we'll play around. We will play around with this. Let's just try it for a bit. See how it is. I know one thing for sure. I'm definitely gonna beat Mesmer with this build. I don't know when, but it'll happen. Better than Asmon Gold. If I wait too long on that, I actually miss the attack. Ouchie!
Shadow of death, in the embrace of mesmerism.
I think that's like 20 deaths already. It's over, man. I'm washed. Alright, gamers. It's time to grind. Lock in. Ow. The second hit of that does all the damage mostly. Ow.
In the embrace of mesmerism.
Flame. A's Mangold in the flesh. I want to listen to more of this. Dude on stream, frick it.
Hey guys. There is a big war, and this is the next big problem that's going to happen. Eventually, Democrats will get control back again. This will happen because it always happens. However, the next big attack on people's liberties is going to be on social media, and it's going to be against free speech. I think that it's going to get a lot worse because they're going to try to codify different types of speech compelling regulations into law. German economics minister already calling for regulation of X. It's fucking sad. Yep, that's right.
If we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this
We'll
most
listen to this in
fundamental
the
right is
background.
allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and
Big Orange Man is back in presidency. This is the biggest news that's happened in the last couple days, so I'm still kind of interested. Unfortunately or not,
liberties will
depending on who you
topple.
ask.
He's right, by the way. He's completely right about
I say
Just
that
like
a lot.
dominoes, one by one, they'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. And read
He's a
they have.
character, man.
like the social media websites absolutely did that.
Recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people.
Suddenly I'm
Anybody
playing
who's on
much
social
better.
Media knows this has been happening. It's not free speech, it's a private platform. I understand that it's a private platform, but don't you think that it's problematic when all of the private platforms act in unison and collusion in order to stop people from having certain opinions across all of the internet?
Ouch.
Like whenever you own a massive amount of a market share, and you're working with other people that own
I
the
jinxed
remaining
myself because I
amount
said I was
of
playing
market
better.
share,
This sucks.
and you're
He
making
really went
decisions
from putting
unilaterally,
the fries in the bag
you
to
are
being the
effectively a
president.
monopoly, and you need to be regulated. It's that simple.
That's actually funny. You're not wrong, actually. You are not wrong at all. I think I'm at 61. Anyway, whatever. You're not wrong though. Like, literally the thing that happened right before he got in, the biggest thing that happened is he was being sued in court for fraud, I think. So he's being sued for court in fraud, and then he's the president in next year. Right, okay. Nice, we got a fraudulent president. I wonder how that's gonna work out. America's just become like a clown show, man, I swear to God.
Also, these websites enjoy a tremendous privilege that's given to them by the government. So if I go to YouTube, for example, and I look at YouTube, let's look at copyright infringement. How many of these videos here are copyright infringement? Let's see, this is copyright infringement. All of the movie, this is a movie, this is another movie, this is a
He's
movie.
right, by the way.
Do you think that all of
There's
these
so
things
much
were
copyright
licensed
infringement
by
on
Warner
YouTube, it's
Brothers
crazy.
Or by MGM or whoever made this movie? Of course not. No, and so YouTube is hosting content on their website that breaks the terms of service, that breaks the law, they break copyright law directly, and they're getting away with it. It's not fair use. It's not fair use to just post a clip on YouTube. Who the fuck thinks that's fair use? Look up what fair use even is. That's clearly not fair use. So these websites are enjoying a tremendous and massive privilege by allowing people to, this is popcorn picks. What the fuck is this? Diablo 2, did Blizzard license this? No. So none of these things were licensed by anyone. These social media websites enjoy a massive privilege that allows them to exist. And that massive privilege...
And you even think about like what I'm doing right now. I'm streaming Elden Ring. This is kind of copyright abuse. This is not... You're not... Like in a normal world, you can't stream like a full playthrough of Elden Ring on TV, can you? I mean, I guess you can. There's nothing technically... Or you can, actually. I guess you can, but if From Software, it's From Software's copyright. If From Software decides one day, okay, we're scrubbing Elden Ring from the internet, no more Elden Ring videos on the internet, because that is our copyright, they have the right to do that. They're never going to do that because a lot of what makes Elden Ring popular is the discussion that we have with each other, right? But technically they still have that right. They technically have the right to completely just scrub all footage of Elden Ring from the internet if they wanted to. They have that power. And a lot of YouTube, how much of YouTube is just gaming videos? Gaming videos or people reacting to reacting. I'm playing Elden Ring while reacting to Asmon, which reacting to the president. Talk about his policies in the coming years.
It is given to them by the
Reacception.
government. And it's called Section 230, which means that they are a platform and not a publisher. The difference is that a publisher is exercising editorial discretion on what's uploaded and what is not uploaded, and a platform allows users to upload whatever they choose. So the problem is that these companies want the privileges of a platform, but they also want the privileges of a publisher, but they also want the accountability of a platform. So when you look at these things, yeah, they want both privileges, exactly. And so that's what I think is really going on. So when I'm talking about like regulation, these companies have regulation.
If he catches me, I'm literally dead. There's nothing I can do.
And the regulation allows them to exist. So if you take that regulation away and you treat them fairly, their entire business model would fall apart and YouTube would be out of business in 24 hours. I'm not kidding. Like if you took away Section 230, they would have to shut down the entire website. That's it. And so when you're looking at like these companies and you're talking about like, oh, well, they're a private company. Okay, well, if they're a private company, why are they getting these privileges? They would just have to stop moderating? Yeah. I've been watching 4-hour-long Family Guy videos for a month on YouTube. Yeah.
That's actually funny.
Imagine what would happen if YouTube could get sued for that. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that these companies that are social media platforms, they are not operating in a free space. They are operating under a privilege that is granted to them by the government. And I think that because of that, there should be a degree of accountability. Because if you're using that privilege in a bad way, then you shouldn't have it.
They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must end.
It is a cartel, very obviously. And you can see this happen when a person gets banned on one platform, and then all of the platforms ban them at the same time. I think Alex Jones is the best example of this.
Happen immediately, and here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit,
I don't know if this is a W or not.
impede the lawful speech of American citizens.
Wow. Trump himself was banned? Yeah, he was. Trump got banned on Twitter. And the funny thing is that, like, think about what happened after that. He got banned. They didn't put him in jail. Elon Musk bought Twitter, fired everybody that was doing it. I would not be surprised if Trump goes after the people that were running Twitter whenever they ban him and tries to put them in jail or something. I could easily see that happen. That was a disgrace? Yeah. He should. I mean,
Like, he was being... Trump was, in the process of being sued for fraud. And then the moment he won the presidency, they dropped all the charges. Huh? Excusez-moi? What happened there? I mean, you can't really... Actually, I don't know. I'm not American. I wouldn't know. But I get the feeling that you can't really sue the president. That's probably what's going on there. You can't really sue the president, at least not while he's in office. So maybe that's what's going on there. But I think it's just kind of stupid, you know? Remember last time it was like, not my president? Oh crap, I don't know how to do this. Where's it? Alt? Yeah, that would work. Okay, cool. Last time it was like, hashtag not my president. Was that like 2016 or some shit? Yeah, people were just like, hashtag not my president. This time it's like, people are crying. It's crazy.
I don't think you should put them in jail for nothing, right? If they're guilty of a crime, they should go to jail, of course, same as anybody else. But yeah, exactly do it. No, I think that absolutely he would do it. This Banana Republic bullshit. I don't think so. I think that if the companies are doing it on behalf of the government and breaking the law, then they should be held accountable, but not if they're not doing it.
I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis- or disinformation.
Yep.
And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship.
Oh my god.
It's gonna be a bloodbath, man.
It's gonna be a fucking capture. It would be too petty to do that kind of vengeance.
Ouch.
Do you think it would be too petty on the conversation topic of Donald Trump?
That's funny.
Uh-oh.
Dude, I'm still reeling that this fucking guy played Metaphor ReFantazio, an Atlas game. They're known for making Persona, by the way. And he actually enjoyed it.
Directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security,
Jesus.
the Department of Health and Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are. Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified.
Oh, that was a mistake.
These include possible violations of federal
The Purge? Yeah. No, I mean, of course.
civil rights laws, campaign finance laws, federal election
It's
law,
gonna be the Purge.
securities
That's
law,
funny.
and antitrust laws.
By the way, I totally support it. I absolutely. I think this is long overdue. It's been evident to me that these companies are misusing their position for years and years and years. Finally, this is happening.
The Hatch Act and a host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these
Ouchie.
efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters. And we have to do this right now.
Oh, this is how, so they can't delete the evidence. Because if you get a notice of preservation, you're not allowed to, what do you call it? You're not allowed to delete information.
Now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship. Third, upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk, revising Section 230.
I can't believe I survived that.
Oh boy, oh boy. Here we go. This was what I hoped Trump would have done in his first term. Like, this was, like, I remember, like, thinking, and I was like, okay, maybe if I vote for Trump, like, he'll regulate social media, because I think it's a huge problem, because he understands social media in a way that other people don't. He didn't do it. It made me very mad. I would, like, that was actually one of the main things I was hoping he would do. Maybe now he's going to do it. Because I thought that he was in a unique position to be able to do that.
To get big online platforms out of censorship business. From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality.
This is exactly
Ouch.
what I wanted.
Death in the embrace of Messmer's flame.
Yep.
Just round up. It's okay.
Exactly what I wanted.
So he's talking about like regulating media and stuff. I don't really know if I care that much about this. It's like, okay, sure. I mean, I guess there is a lot of like misinformation in the media. But it's always been like that, you know?
Transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination.
Yep.
I guess it's a hot topic issue for him because, you know, the media's literally been on Trump's ass
Man.
since he...
Oh boy, oh boy. The answer to censorship is censorship? That's not, I understand, you know, that's like a, I don't know, like a 90 IQ Reddit take. But like, no, that's not what's happening. I agree, no censorship. Yeah, if you want to say your opinion, preach, but I have the right to know who you are. You have the right to know who somebody is.
Dodge it all there. What is wrong
Why
with
do you
me,
have the
bro?
right to know who somebody is?
I'm washed.
That's crazy. The government does. You sure? I think you can make that argument. No, you don't. As an individual, absolutely not.
We should require these platforms to increase their efforts to take down unlawful content such as child exploitation and promoting
I mean, that's kind of a
terrorism
W,
while
yeah.
dramatically
I agree with that.
curtailing their-
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
I attacked too soon.
Oh boy, oh boy. Does this also stop platforms from being slaves to advertisers? You know what's really funny? It does. Because if they literally can't stop this stuff because of the law, then the advertisers can't use it as leverage. I never thought about that.
I think
but
I'm
you're
starting to
totally
get
right. Wow.
a wee bit of his combo, or understand them a
boy,
little bit
boy.
more.
The law supersedes TOS? Yeah, of course. Well, this dude's saying all this shit, he's going to end up playing 4 years of golf. If that happens, I'm going to lose. I'm going to be so mad. I feel like if that happens, I'm probably never
I mean, he
gonna
can't
vote for
get
another
elected again,
Republican
but
ever again.
people
I'm gonna
would
be
just
honest, I
like
would be so
freak
fucking
out.
mad. Can you explain the last comment? Basically, they have to maintain neutrality. Yeah, it's pretty simple. The concern here will be if the energy they have for applying this for the other party is the same for their own party. I'm pretty sure that the Republican Party has done their own censorship. Yeah, they have. You're right. I think that's a very reasonable concern. I think you're right. fun.
I'm
You
fucked.
did vote? Yeah, I
Whatever.
voted for Trump the first time. I didn't vote the second or the third time.
The race of gold, shadow,
Power
death,
to
in the
arbitrarily
embrace of
If I was in America, I think I would have voted for Trump. The LGBT stuff. I mean, as long as he's not like actively going out of his way to kill LGBT people, I think it's okay. It's not a huge deal. But like, what I like about Trump is that he's like better for the economy. Theoretically, I mean, that's the narrative. Who knows? Who knows for sure, right? To be honest, the economy sucks, so. It would be nice to have a pretty nice economy, and I'm graduating soon, so it'd be nice to have a better economy.
Fourth, we need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry.
I don't mind Kamala.
that has
There was
arisen
nothing
under
really
false
wrong with her,
guise of
but again, I'm not
tackling
American.
so-called
I
myths
literally don't even know
and
her policies.
Wow. Holy shit. Holy shit.
The federal government should immediately stop funding all nonprofits and academic programs that support this authoritarian project.
True. Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, who decides misinformation? Exactly. Yeah, this is crazy. Holy shit.
If any U.S. university is discovered to have engaged in censorship activity or election interference in the past, such as flagging social media content for removal of blacklisting, those universities should lose federal research dollars and federal student loan support.
Oh
We're gonna
my
hit
God.
hit 100 deaths, brother.
What's crazy about this
It's gonna
is
happen.
the fact that he's going to do it retroactively. Holy shit. Oh my God.
Let's go!
America's Way Fun. Yeah, this is
100
nuts.
deaths, we go!
I don't agree with the 5-year non-funding on universities. It's only going to hurt the students. They need to punish the board who made those decisions. Oh, why not both? Yeah, no.
All
it
of the
will
above?
hurt everybody if he does that. And that's the goal. That's exactly what he's trying to do.
Too soon.
For a period of 5 years and maybe more. We should also enact new laws laying out clear criminal penalties for federal bureaucrats who partner with private entities to do an end run around the Constitution
Thank fucking God. Yeah, absolutely. True.
and deprive Americans of their First, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment rights. In other words, deprive them of their vote. And once you lose those elections, and once you lose your borders like we have, you no longer have a country. Furthermore, to confront the problems of major platforms being infiltrated by legions of former deep staters and
This was crazy to see how many people that worked in the CIA that went to work at Facebook. That was really
What does that
interesting
mean?
for me to see that
CIA to
on
Facebook
LinkedIn.
pipeline,
What
I guess?
what an interesting thing to notice.
intelligence officials.
Wow.
There should be a 7-year cooling-off period before any employee of the FBI, CIA, NSA, DNI, DHS, or DOD
does
is
that
allowed
miss me,
to take
actually?
a job
I'm
at a
confused.
company possessing vast quantities of U.S. user data.
Probably a good idea. I actually think this probably is a good idea. You know what's actually crazy? How many right-wing influencers were literally paid by Russia to make propaganda? Look up Tim Pool's Russian payments.
I'm understanding some of his combos now.
What does that have to do with... Yeah, I mean, that's bad. For sure.
in the embrace of mesmerism.
Okay.
Like, when he's a little slower, he has a follow-up? No, when he's a little slower, he has a follow-up. When he's not slow, he does not have a follow-up. I don't know how to describe it more than that. So he brings out the fire, right? He pulls out the fire out of his, like, right hand. is that his left hand? No, it's his left hand, actually. He pulls out the fire with his left hand. No, it's his right hand. Fuck, I'm stupid. Anyway, sorry. It's his right hand. He pulls out the fire with his right hand. And he always goes for a stab right after. After he does the stab, he has 2 different attack combos he can go into. Both of them do the same thing, where he twirls around with his spear. One of them is slightly slower, one of them is slightly faster. The faster one, if he does the faster one, there is no follow-up. If he does the slower one, there is an impaler move. He does his impaler move. Signature impaler move. There you go. Mesmer tech. I'm sure you needed that.
That was easy, right? Yeah, bad. Big bad. Ooh, real bad. Not good. Ooh, bad.
I'm really learning the fight this
The
time.
time has finally come for Congress to
I mean, I
pass a
kinda learned the
digital
fight
Bill of Rights. This should include a right
Last time
to
too, but-
digital due process. In other words, government officials should need a court order to take down online content.
Government officials should need a court order to take down online content. I agree with that. Because he's referring to, so at the beginning I was like, wait a minute, I'm kind of shaky on this. But if he's referring to how the government can affect a social media user's account, then he's totally within his jurisdiction of doing that, right? Because yeah, the government should be able to like make people take things down without a court order. Absolutely. What about school shooting videos? Well, the government wouldn't really be taking that down. I don't think anybody is going to be complaining about school shooting videos.
Not send information requests such as the FBI was sending to Twitter. Furthermore, when users of big online platforms have their content or accounts removed, blocked, shadow banned, or otherwise restricted,
I should just
no matter
dodge
what name
twice
they
when he
use,
comes at
they
me like
should
that.
have the right to be informed that it's happening, the right to a specific explanation of the reason why, and the right to a timely appeal.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. Thank fucking God, yeah. And the thing is that all of this stuff, like, I support all of this. I completely do. And I think that he absolutely has the right to do it. I think the government absolutely has the right to do it because of Section 230. These companies could not exist.
I don't know anything
unless
about
they are given
US
this
law.
basic immunity, get out of jail free card for copyright infringement. Like, if you take that away from them and you treat them like everybody else, they immediately can't exist. So, you know, again, with great power comes great responsibility.
Real. Crazy how everything can go back to Spider-Man, man.
People say that they'll assassinate him for this. Here's what you don't understand. If they end up assassinating Trump,
He's gonna become a
J.D.
martyr.
Vance is going to be like, okay, that was a good start. We're gonna do all of that, and now we're gonna do all this other shit too. Yeah, Vance will go 10 times harder.
Dude, what's crazy is they tried to assassinate this guy like 3 different times. What the fuck? What happened, man? This is crazy.
Yeah, like in a lot of ways.
Was it 3?
seems
No,
like he's
2.
even
My
more
bad. My
conservative than
mistake.
Trump is.
I really hope it doesn't happen
So
a third
no,
time.
I don't think that's what's gonna happen at all.
But it probably will.
JD will be afraid? I don't think so. Yeah, they're not going to make him a martyr. I think that they realize that. Because he's already put out all of these things, and so Trump's already put out a lot of these things as kind of like action items. So if Trump did get assassinated, and there's effectively a mandate for these policies to become law, anybody who went against that would be immediately like hated by everyone else. Same logic applied with him and Pence the first time. Pence was way worse than Trump in policy. Oh yeah, the electricity, yeah, the shock thing. I don't know if that actually happened, but a lot of people are talking about it.
A timely appeal. In addition, all users
I didn't know
over
he
the
could
age of
get a
18
light
should
attack
have the
off.
right to opt out
That
of
changes everything,
content
actually.
moderation and curation entirely. And
I hope that Trump, like, I hope he considers making it to where you can't make a social media account if you're under the age of consent. I don't think you should be able to make a social media account if you're under the
I also
age of
think that's
consent,
kind of a W.
unless it's an account made on a platform that's explicitly created for kids, like YouTube Kids.
To receive an unmanipulated stream of information if they so choose. The fight for free speech is a matter of victory or death for America and for the survival of Western civilization itself. When I am president, this whole rocky system of censorship and information control will be ripped out of the system at large. There won't be anything left. By restoring free speech, we'll begin to reclaim our democracy and save our nation. Thank you, and God bless America.
I swear to God, if this orange retard doesn't do this, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. Bro, I'm gonna join Antifa if this doesn't happen. Like, I'm gonna be so fucking mad.
Why does Trump look so AI generated? I think we forget the guy is old now.
I'm gonna be...
Like he's like 80 years old. His skin is clearly kind of deteriorating. It's hard to see, but yeah, his skin is actually deteriorating. Like, I don't want to say he's gonna turn out like Biden, but like, because we don't know that yet, but he's like 3 years younger than Biden, I guess. So, but the man is very old, very, very old. Like, part of me even thinks he's just like a figurehead for other people that are running in the, I think it's called, he better not turn out like Biden. I know. I hope not. But the man is old. He's like 80 something, like 81 or something. I don't know. The man is very old. He's not that much younger than Biden. So, yeah. He better not, but it's very possible that he will. I don't think... That's the end of that video. I don't think there's anything else I really wanted to watch. There was a media conspiracy against... He is 78, yeah. Okay, so by the end of his term, he'll be 82. So... I don't want to say he's going to turn out like Biden, but it's possible. The man is very old. Like, people demonize him so much, but honestly, like, the man is very old. Like, he's basically... Like, if you were to talk to Biden right... Or, sorry, Trump right now, he would basically treat you like a complete child. Like, you know, like literally 10 years old. He would treat you like that. I think this was an interesting video, actually.
So, Black Myth Wukong, it feels very weird, the negativity.
I'm so weirded out by the negativity for Black Myth because, like, the game is... like, it's from a... Okay. Okay. It sounds bad to say this, but it's from, like, a non-white game company. So, like, theoretically, it should be liked by everyone, right? Like, the woke crowd, the anti-woke crowd, everyone should like this game. But for some reason, this game has become, like, the target of gaming journalists. I don't understand why. I don't get it, but it has. Like, we should all be celebrating this game, but it's not. We're not. And for the record, I have not played Black Myth. I just know that it's good. Everyone says it's good. I accept it. It's like literally the breakout game for China, pretty much. It's like their first like AAA game. I think my friend actually played it. He said it's really good, so I believe him. So I don't really understand. I'm not gonna lie to you.
that is towards like Black Myth Wukong.
I don't
I
understand
feel
why
is
there's
some
so
of the
much
most
so much
forced
hate
and
against the
confusing
game.
shit that I've seen.
Now, ever so often, there's a game that comes out that meets and exceeds the expectations of the players. It blows our minds. It's so good, but for some odd reason, it doesn't meet the same expectations for games media. Our interests aren't aligned. Our perspectives are not necessarily the same, and there's conflict in that. And I think that Black Myth Wukong is one of those games. And don't get me wrong, the game reviewed very well. It got over an 80 on most review sites. But with that said, up until the game's release, and then even after the game's release, it was under a constant barrage of negative criticism. It had nothing to do with the game whatsoever. And in that, the game never really got a fair shake. At least not in...
Well, it didn't get
Game
a fair
trailers
shake,
hate it
and
because it
was
doesn't have enough
obvious that it didn't.
diversity.
And a lot of the reviews
That's the
that people
crazy
gave
thing,
for-
dude. I disagree with that. I think it has enough diversity. It's about the fucking Monkey King. I know, but I disagree with that, bro. I think the game is very diverse. Like, have you seen the game? It's... Well, okay. If you're talking about specifically, like, DEI, I guess I understand what you're saying. I can understand what you're saying. But I think the game's very diverse. It's like, it's Chinese folklore. And it's basically like a boss rush, pretty much. Of just different folklore entities in the Monkey King story, or Journey to the West. That's the one. It has the 72 transformation. He has 72 transformations. Pretty much, yeah. I don't think I have no context for what that means, but I'm gonna assume that means it is a diverse game. I think it is literally like a diverse game. Also, how's the video volume? Is it like not high enough? I can turn it up.
Black Myth Wukong
Journey of the West, yeah.
contextualized the review
I've never actually read it.
Alongside a slanderous article that was proven to be false that defamed the company that made the game, with proven lies that they never issued a correction or a retraction from.
In my eyes. Now, 2024 has been an absolutely insane year for games. There are so many
I never
great
thought
games
about
to
it, but
play.
he's
If you're
right.
one of those people that are out there that are like, gaming is dying, let me be the first to tell you. You need to
fucking kidding me. It's not dying. It is one of the best years for gaming that we've ever had.
play more games, or just not the
Absolutely.
same ones over and over again. The list, once I get into some of the Game of the Year contenders, it's going to blow your mind, because I honestly forgot how many games even came out this year.
Yeah, it's fucking insane. People are talking about like anti-China sentiment. I think that where is the anti-China sentiment with Genshin Impact with those same people? It's not there. So
Oh, that's
I
true,
don't
actually.
think that's really true.
Year. This isn't about the award. It's about the recognition that these studios deserve, the reward they deserve, beyond just making money. It's making sure that it's known why these games are great so that other publishers and studios can see, hey, this is what it is. This is how we make a game that the players love. And it's not, again, just not the money. But already I'm starting to see games media want to preemptively push back about Black Myth Wukong being in the Game of the Year category, and
I
we're
think
gonna talk about
it's
that.
pretty much
Before that,
confirmed.
today's sponsor.
Yeah, of course, right? I mean, like, I think it's a
Wukong
huge
is
issue.
going to win Game of the Year.
Ryan's American company.
If it doesn't-
yeah, true. It's about jealousy.
Like, unless there's like a Hail Mary that comes out this year, I really don't see any other game winning Game of the Year.
See, I think that people are just trying to shit on this, and I guarantee you other publishers and studios are researching market and not looking at Game Awards. I think that that's true, but it's also fair to look at the Game Awards and see how it happens that's biased, and then call that out, because I think it's bad.
War Thunder is a massive free-to-play, large-scale multiplayer game where you can fight anyone from around the world using ground vehicles, aircraft, helicopters, and naval vessels from the mid-20th century to present. The game is available on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. What truly sets War Thunder apart is its commitment to realism and immersion. The graphics and sound design continually evolve, pulling you into battles that feel authentically intense. You're not just playing...
The most expensive tank in the pay-to-win track for War Thunder is a tank from Israel, and I think that any American player that plays War Thunder should get that tank for free, since we actually paid for it with our tax dollars.
In a game, you're experiencing the heart-pounding chaos of combat. Whether you're barreling through enemy lines in a tank, providing crucial
Message
air
of
support,
praise.
or engaging in thrilling dogfights, the freedom to choose your combat
healed me.
style is up to you. The game features various technologies such as night vision devices, smoke screens, and even nuclear explosions. Which
Why is
turn
he
the
saying
tide of
talking
battle
about
in
War
unexpected
Thunder?
ways.
He's
A recent update
sponsored,
called
that's
Dance
why.
of Dragons is a game changer. Thanks to this update, you can now take command of a variety of French combat vessels and take control of 2 iconic American aircraft, the A-10 Thunderbolt II attack plane and the F-111
Gee.
tactical bomber. In addition, there are many
He's
other
sponsored.
combat
I can
features.
skip it. It's fine.
It does explore with more this video. We have had a monstrous year in games, and it's wild to think that it's not even over yet with more releases right around the corner. This is about the time of year that Game of the Year candidates are being discussed and debated, and this year we have a lot of difficult choices to make. Dragon's Dogma 2, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth,
Dragon's Dogma 2 is not.
So he's going to talk about Dragon's Dogma. I really know nothing about Dragon's Dogma. Final Fantasy Rebirth. I don't hear anyone talking about that game, like pretty much at all. I thought Asmon doesn't even bother skipping the sponsor. Yeah, he does that. I think it's more for the benefit of the video creator themselves. Asmon Gold is a React channel. A news drama React channel. He might not admit it. Or actually, no, he has admitted it before. He literally is just a news drama React channel at this point, and does gaming on the side. And I think that's probably made him more popular than what he used to do, which was just World of Warcraft videos. But unfortunately, React content, I know it's ironic because I'm doing it right now. It's the meta right now, but it's also like, it's kind of scummy to do because, you know, think about how many hours of effort went into creating this video, and then Asmon Gold is just reacting to it on his stream. Now, for most people, that's not really a big deal because Asmon Gold actually drives viewers to the original video. But for some people, I know some people don't actually watch the video, watch the content after Asmon Gold watches it. So, with that realization, he's trying to not, like, he doesn't want to skip the sponsor because then, or that's how I understand it. He doesn't skip this. He's no Hasanabe. I think Hasanabe literally just skips the sponsor too. It's fucked up. Anyway, it's basically like stealing content, but you basically do none of the work to actually create the content. And that is unfortunately what Asmon Gold does. He's a little bit better than most people because like Hassan and like XQC will literally just walk away and just keep the video playing. It's so scummy. It's so stupid. But Asmon tries not to do that, which I respect. But at the end of the day, React content is kind of scummy. Some people are okay with it. As long as you're not stealing viewers from the content creator themselves, they're okay with it, but I think this guy in particular, this guy's okay with Asmon reacting to his content.
Not even remotely in the running for Game of the Year. The game has so many flaws and it's so problematic.
For me, I don't even need to worry about any of the controversy because literally no one watches me anyway. So it's not like I'm stealing any viewers, or at least I'm not stealing enough to really matter. Asmon Gold actually steals like viewers enough to matter because he has such a huge following.
It's not even remotely close.
Helldivers 2, Paper Mario, The Thousand
Helldivers 2, not even remotely close.
Your Door, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Persona 3
Definitely not the Game of the Year.
Is
Prince of
okay.
Persia was good, but it's not Game of the Year.
Reloaded, Metaphor, Refantasio, and
So Rebirth, I don't think that's gonna win Game of the Year. It might get sponsored. It might show up in the list. I don't think Final Fantasy Rebirth is going to get Game of the Year. I've literally heard no discussion about Rebirth at all year. I haven't even heard a peep about it. I don't even know if people like like it or not, right? I think back when Final Fantasy VII Remake dropped, like there was so much discussion going on about it. I don't think it's going to get Game of the Year though. It might be nominated, but I don't think it might win an award too. But I don't think it's getting Game of the Year. He mentions Persona 3 Reload as well. While I liked Reload, I don't think it deserves Game of the Year. 1, because it's a remake. 2, because I was kind of I won't say let down, underwhelmed. I was kind of underwhelmed by Persona 3 Reload. I'm not gonna lie. It might win an award, maybe, but I think any awards that game would have won is probably gonna go to Metaphor ReFantasio. That game, I think, will definitely get nominated because again, it's like an Atlas JRPG. Elden Ring should win Game of the Year again. I think it's gonna win Best DLC of this year. 100%, it's gonna happen. 100% is gonna win the Best DLC of this year. If it doesn't, I might get a little ticked off. But you know, the Game Awards suck anyway. Who cares? That would be fun though. Yeah, Elden Ring gets Game of the Year again. I don't think it's gonna get Game of the Year though. This is Game of the Year in my heart, in my heart of hearts. I know it to be true. What else? Freaking. What's his face? Metaphor? I think Metaphor might get nominated, but I don't think it's gonna win. Well, actually, I don't even know much about Metaphor because I haven't even bought the game, honestly. I haven't even played it. But I know the basic premise. I would guess it'll be nominated for Game of the Year. I don't think it'll win Game of the Year. And any awards that Persona 3 Reload would have gotten are probably going to go to Metaphor. Again, I think Game of the Year this year is going to be Wukong. Again, it's the breakout game for Chinese gamers. The breakout AAA game for Chinese gamers. Everybody loves it. It's based on the Journey to the West, and which is like a classic story, right? So I think it's going to win Game of the Year this year. Let's see. Does he mention anything else? Oh, Silent Hill 2. Also, I think Silent Hill 2 might get nominated. I might win an award. I've been watching someone else play it. I don't think it'll win Game of the Year, though. Might get nominated for Game of the Year. Maybe. I also have, like, opinions about Silent Hill 2. I might get into them later.
Silent Hill 2 Remake are among the highest scoring games that we've had from reviewers this year. That's 8 games when only 6 games could be qualified as candidates.
I have Dragon Ball.
We're not even mentioning the stockpile of games that were scored just under that, with titles like Stellar Blade, Black Myth Wukong, Tekken 8, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Unicorn Overlord.
Wukong's
Space
probably
Marine
going to
2,
win.
and more.
I'm making my
2024
bet right
has
now.
been packed with games, but only a few titles are deserving of being crowned King of the Year. And for many players, that game is Black Myth Wukong. James Broughton of The Gamer penned an article.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I think Black Myth Wukong is Game of the Year, and I don't even think anything else is remotely close.
Yeah, me too.
I do. I think it's just so far and away better. It's like, and it's the reason why is that it's not one thing, it's everything. It's that the combat is really good, the storytelling is really good, the graphics are really good, the cinematics are really good, like the voice acting is really good. Everything about it is S tier.
Titled, if Black Myth Wukong isn't nominated for Game of the Year, fans are going to be insufferable.
I love how the implication there is that the fans are the ones that are in the wrong, not the people. Like, what is the logic? So, if all of the people that are saying that this game should be Game of the Year, why,
I'm gonna get hit.
Why exactly does that happen? I don't even understand that. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. So, like, it's like, yeah, we're the ones that are insufferable. Maybe it's you.
Right, Black Myth Wukong is a very good action game, taking the Souls-like formula and stretching it into a boss rush format. Its popularity even surpasses that of its inspirations, garnering millions of players in mere days. It's a genuine contender for the Game Awards, but with how stacked 2024 is shaping up to be, competition is fierce. Polygon recently updated its Game of the Year frontrunner list, while the Golden Joystick Awards announced its 6 nominees for this year's PC and
I actually
console
should
Game of the Year
have went forward for that.
Black Myth Wukong is nowhere to
Did get
be
punished
seen
anyway, it's
outside
okay.
of smaller categories, and so TikTok right now is a deluge of angry gamers declaring that games media is corrupt and that it's all a part of some wider conspiracy.
I think it is. I think that's exactly what's happening. I think that Black Myth Wukong is indicated, and I'm just going to say it straight out. I think that's exactly what's happening. And it's evident to any person with a brain. You have a games
I have no
media,
idea why.
hegemony
It's so
of people
stupid.
that all behave and have the exact same opinions.
We should be celebrating
that all cross-reference
Wukong.
each
I don't know
other
why
for some
it's
form
become
of,
like a
credibility.
hit piece target for
And they've
people.
all collectively gotten together and tried to push a false narrative that Black Myth Wukong is a mediocre game and that the studio that makes it is sexist.
I'm out of healing.
This is ridiculous. And for me to think that that's not a factor, or that like this just randomly happened, it's insulting to the intelligence of any person that is like reading this. Yes, it absolutely is a deluge of angry gamers, because that's
Ouch.
exactly what it is. It is a conspiracy.
In the embrace.
They're
of
not giving it to them.
messiness.
It's the same reason why the conspiracy was to give this game an 8. It's not an 8. This game's easily a 9.
I still don't understand like why this game got targeted. Shadow Realm Blessing. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I'm not boosting my Shadow Blessing right now. I actually completely forgot about that. Damn, it has been a minute, bro, since I've played this game. 14 is the maximum flasks? I didn't know that. I will boost my Shadow True Blessing after I beat... Dog is so washed. Dude, I'm making progress, man. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I'm not washed. Please. Please take it back. I will boost my Shadow Tree Blessing after I beat Mesmer and Midra. I just want to prove a point. I just want to prove a point that they are possible, even with low Shadow Tree Blessing, even on New Game +5. Asmon Gold is bad. That's what I want to prove. I'm doing a heckin' job of it right now.
Right 10. To say that the game had no women representation? Yeah, because you didn't get to part 4. It's unbelievable.
That's the funniest part.
Yeah,
That they
people
just said
think
there's
it's
no
part of
women
the conspiracy.
representation, but there is
That's
just
because it
later in the
is.
game.
The game was not rigged from the start. It's just been a very, very competitive year.
You have to keep in mind that IGN rated Black Myth Wukong, I think, an 8, and it rated Dragon Age Veilguard a 9. It is a conspiracy. It's happening, and it's right in
Ouchie.
front of you.
Shadow.
And Concord
In
is
the
7.
embrace of
Of
messiness.
Mesimus.
It's happening right in front of you. Everybody can see it, and you're made to feel like a fool whenever you see what's in plain sight. It's absolutely happening.
What spell is this?
Sorry,
Oh,
it's just true.
okay. Honestly, I might as well use that anyway.
Wider conspiracy. The game was not rigged from the start. It's just been a very, very competitive year. This week alone, we've had Silent Hill 2 Remake, Metaphor ReFantazio, and Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, 3 critically
Still can't
acclaimed
believe he
hits
played
that are all
Metaphor.
vying for the
It's
spotlight
crazy to
with
me.
equal fervor. Earlier this year, we saw the launch of Astrobot, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, Tekken 8, Helldivers 2, and Dragon's Dogma. That's not to mention...
If you think that Dragon's Dogma should be in the running for Game of the Year over Black Myth Wukong, you are retarded.
Nice.
That's it. Like, there's no other way to look at it.
In the stellar year it's been for indies. Black Myth Wukong, while good, we scored it 4 stars, just doesn't measure up to the
we
great.
scored at 4 stars. I love how they always like referencing back to their own scoring, as if this is some sort of like indication of credibility.
Yeah, we're not biased because if you look at our previous bias, it will reinforce our current one. It's so ridiculous.
Ouchie.
I really like Dragon's Dogma 2.
Black Myth
I did as
Woe
well, but I know
Long.
that it's not Game of the Year. Also,
Is the
think
game that
about,
long?
Again, that Stellar Blade
I have
wasn't
no idea.
mentioned here
I haven't
either.
played it.
For indies. Black Myth Wukong, while good,
It's an obvious bias, and any normal person, any logical, reasonable person can see that.
scored at 4 stars, just doesn't measure up to the greats. Hell, it's not even the best Souls-like this year, as that award goes to Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. For those that have used Wukong
mean, that is
as
technically
fuel in a
true.
culture war since before it was even released, its
Shadow of the
absence
Erdtree
on
was the
these
best
lists
Souls-like
is an
this
attack.
year.
It's
It is. It absolutely is. And the people that used it in the culture war were the journalists that slandered the company based off of their
Wow.
misunderstanding of the Chinese language. That's exactly what happened. Any normal person can see that. I'm sorry, but like, it's obviously happened. It wasn't misunderstanding. It was proven. And, well, actually, no, that's true. It was deliberate.
It's not even a
Games
Souls-like,
Media
it is
for
Souls.
reasons, even
Real.
though it has an open critic aggregate of 82. There's one big argument cropping up across Reddit and slowly replacing all the goth girls on my For You page as to why it deserves to be nominated. It's sold well. James, I will speak for those that you are arguing against. Black Myth
is the
Wukong
Souls.
doesn't deserve to be nominated because of its sales. It deserves to be nominated because it is the first ever release from a studio, an inexperienced studio, that made a stunningly gorgeous game with great
Woo,
combat,
we
a
reached
compelling
100.
story, beautiful
Let's go.
music, incredibly detailed and culturally accurate environments, some of the most unique boss encounters I've seen in a game like this, and themes that we don't
I do
often
love
see
the
in
boss
games.
variety,
It was
though.
original, fresh,
That's
and
why I
most
don't want to
importantly,
spoil
fun.
myself too
And
much
while
on
many of the
Wukong,
games
'cause
that were
it'll be
mentioned in
so
this
fun to play
article
it.
are incredible games. They are just copies of previous
'Cause of
titles
all
or
the
even
variety.
remakes. The industry
I personally think that remakes and DLC shouldn't be able to win Game of the Year. This is just like my own personal 2 cents. So everybody's going to have their own opinion on it. But I don't think the DLC and remakes should win Game of the Year. I don't think it's fair.
should be celebrating and rewarding studios that
I think I was
work
just
this hard,
confused. I didn't know
take
what
a
to do.
risk, and deliver something altogether new. And we're not even mentioning how the game
Look at
sold
that
a
shit,
fair
man. That
price.
shit looks cool.
I am so exhausted by this. Do you want to know why players think there's some grand conspiracy? Do you want to know why?
Why does everybody think this? Maybe the reason why everybody thinks it is because it's true. Has it ever occurred to you that maybe when everybody collectively comes to a conclusion of something, that maybe there could be some reason why they think this is happening? $60 is a fair price. Absolutely, it's a fair price for a game. It's the same price that was in 2005.
They think there's some media bias. Well, you're not doing yourself any service when you try to minimize the game
Oh, shit,
every
okay.
given turn.
I've literally never gotten
Call
hit
it
by
a
that.
Souls-like. It's not even a Souls-like. I actually did the same
It's
thing.
not.
on
Wait, actually, I
video,
think I
too, so
did.
I'm actually not going to
Never
take
mind.
points away
Don't
from
trust
you
me.
for that, but
Yeah.
I don't understand
trust me.
where this idea that this game somehow became something that the culture war LARPers have latched onto even before its release, because to my recollection, the only thing that I can remember is Games Media were the ones that were pushing these allegations from IGN against Game Science through different articles, and then also at the exact same time, there were a ton of
And they
people.
were unsubstantiated allegations that referenced and referred to unknown sources in nondescript ways to make them seem like they were more valid and important than they were.
Pining over tweets that were completely mistranslated. If anything, it was Games Media that was dragging this game into the culture war, not the other way around.
Yeah.
It's just not true.
Yeah, nobody was talking about this game being woke or anything like that, or like anti-woke, anything like that, like before they put out those articles. Nobody was thinking about that. It's the same thing as about how they talked about how the game, like, do you guys remember the reviews about how, like, the game didn't have any women in it? As if, like, by the way, having women in the game is some sort of indicator of quality. What a retarded premise to begin with. But on top of that,
It's like they're complaining about not having women in the game, but the game is about a Chinese monkey. Excusez-moi? What? Huh? Where in this story about a Chinese monkey would women even fit in? I don't know. Okay, I don't know. So I've never read Journey of the West, but like, if there was, if I did, I will bet you there is not a woman in a story about a Chinese monkey king. Where is there room in this story about a Chinese monkey king killing gods for a woman? Like, I don't know, maybe there's female gods or something? I don't know. This is like, it's just such a stupid, it's like saying, it's like complaining that there's no, okay. Let me try to think of like a fun comparison. It's like playing Elden Ring, but you're complaining that there's no, what would be an outrageous thing? Playing Elden Ring, but you're complaining that there's no fucking, okay, no easy mode? Not quite what I'm going for. It's more like, it's like complaining that there's no pandas in Elden Ring. There's no pandas in Elden Ring. This is racism against pandas. They include bears, but no pandas? What the hell? Pandas are bears too. Actually, I don't think that comparison makes makes any sense. But I think you understand what I'm saying. It's a story about a Chinese monkey king killing gods. At least I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Where in the story can you include a woman? Why would you? It's even based on a story that was previously written. Right? It's just such a dumb complaint. I don't understand it at all. And it always fucking makes me laugh. You're complaining there's no women in a story about a Chinese monkey king. I don't get it. I don't understand, man. I don't get it.
Me is that all the reviewers that played this game didn't actually beat the game because they never saw the full story of it.
Real.
They only played probably the first chapter and then they quit it. It's just like it's so brain dead and just of course people are going to be thinking this is part of the culture war because they were the ones that started attacking it. That's the reason why. They're just mad that people didn't buy their bullshit hit piece on the game being sexist. Yeah, I think so too. Was there also the game science turned down Sweet Baby money too? I don't think that's accurate.
The entire time before this game's release, and this is the reason why I say the game didn't get a fair shake, is that every single time this game was brought up, it was always with a qualifier.
Yeah.
Black Myth Wukong is a fantastic action game. But there was this report from IGN that was also based on some mistranslations, but we don't really care about that much. But anyway, they said
there were some people that reviewed it and contextualized their review around it. And so, no women in Veilguard either, so they can't define what a woman is. Yeah. Crazy people can't just enjoy the game without inserting politics into it. Yeah. I think this is a huge issue, and I will be doing a, I'll tell you guys this. So, I said that I was going to do this, and I never did it. The Shame Awards.
I can't wait for this, by the way.
Shame Awards? I will be completely transparent. I didn't do it because of my relation with like OTK, Mad Mushroom, and everything. They thought it might make us look bad. Problem solved. So now we're doing it. And so now what we're going to be doing is we are going to be looking at the worst representation, worst graphics, most garbage performance, you know, biggest Mary Sue character. And we are doing this by the end of the year. I am very fucking excited. It was good. Yep, it's very, very good.
This is going to be amazing.
some things, if they do some things, we
somebody
don't
needs to do
agree
this.
with. Black Myth Wukong, we're giving an 8 out of 10, but just to let you know, we saw some tweets that were also mistranslated, and we didn't really like exactly what they said or the things that this company stands for. It was always like that. The game never got a fair chance, at least in the media light. And that's not the same for
No, they never gave it a fair chance. Absolutely not. And you see this all the time. So, like, here's a great example. When Jesse Ventura ran for governor of, I believe, Minnesota, they introduced him as a former wrestler rather than a politician, or rather than any of his other jobs. And there are always these ways that media uses to delegitimize and make people less valid. And it's like these like really soft like changes in vocabulary that the average person can't detect and can't see. Yeah, former Navy SEAL or something like that. No, yeah, like a former wrestler. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And so, it's very obvious that this happens. And I find this to be a huge problem. And I'll tell you guys, I hate media. I absolutely hate them. I think that they are 100% against the will of the people. I think that they exist as a parasite, and 9 times out of 10, they make the world worse and not better. I hate them. They're scummy as fuck, absolutely. And it's true with games media, it's true with political media, it's true with all media. Former minor, yeah, there's another one.
Former minor is crazy,
Like,
dude.
I don't think that there is enough. I don't think that there is enough vitriol for the amount of just obvious propaganda and lies that they put out all the time.
every other game that was out there. All the rest of the games never had any.
This is the same thing.
And the worst part is again, all of these things were alleged.
Yo,
never even
phase 2. Hype. I love this cutscene. I think I should remove this.
Oh, not suffer. Our Lord,
I
devoid
think I'm
of
at
light.
105. I don't know. This death count is not accurate at all. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No,
I don't understand why.
forgive me.
Is that some sort of deity or is that America? Because the horn sent praise to that thing after too. So I don't think it's America. Alright, watch me die to the first attack in phase 2. El Bozo. I'll keep the video off just for this. I think I ranked Mesmer too low. He's actually really cool. He should have been at least an A tier.
Wilt thou be taken in the jaws of the abyss?
This serpent, shorn of light. He doesn't even pronounce the R, he just says shorn. Oh, dude, I was joking. No way. I actually did die to the first attack.
proven,
Oh my God,
yet
that's
they
funny
were
as
touted
shit.
in fact. They were included in game reviews.
Well, they were
Okay,
alleged also.
so
by
if
the
you
way, they were
if you
alleged
don't
by
dodge that
anonymous
attack, you
sources.
actually get
so
fucked.
It's not,
Alright, I don't know why I played it.
not only it's not only that this might have not happened. It's also that we don't even know who said it.
I'm washed, bro. It's over
Game
for
review
me.
videos and reviews.
Red flame
don't think
truly
that's too
fell off.
far?
I know. It's
What do you
over.
think is the purpose of that when you put that stuff into an article other than to minimize the game and hopefully steer players away from buying it?
That's their goal.
That's the point.
Yeah.
You want to understand and know why players think there's
Exactly
some
what we're
grand
trying to do.
conspiracy?
Because
Well,
there
it's not
is.
hard for them to jump to that conclusion when it's staring
That was
them.
not an
It's
opening.
right
I don't know why I
there. Yeah,
attacked there.
It's not jumping to conclusion. We've been fucking Ubered there by the people themselves.
2 inches from their face. On the topic of the game's sales, the writer continues with, "It's hardly a compelling defense, but sales figures have long been used as evidence that supposedly anti-woke games like Wukong are what your everyday gamer really wants. In reality, it was a success because the game was marketed to the enormous untapped Chinese demographic."
Well, we all have to keep in mind that Chinese players and video game people are only weighted as 3/5 of an American player or a Western player.
Yeah,
They're
it's just
not
like
a
showing your
entire
racism.
gamer. So
It's
you
crazy.
shouldn't really think about Chinese gamers the same as Western gamers. They're just they're separate, but they're not equal. Sorry.
It was only made worse when streamers were supposedly sent guidelines asking them not to mention feminist propaganda or politics. Black Myth Wukong
I think
became the
this is
poster
what
child
really
for the
ticked them
most
off.
Toxic, vocal gamers on the internet, and everything since its launch has only worked to further that image.
Another funny thing about that is that if this retard knew anything about the way that China works, the reason why you're not supposed to mention feminist propaganda or politics is because a lot of times China
Ouch.
has those restrictions on companies themselves
In the embrace
because they
of
restrict speech in
messiness.
China in a very large way. And those restrictive speech expectations were translated to a marketing agency, and it wasn't westernized. So if this person actually knew anything about the culture that they're trying to understand or actually really completely slander in this case, they would know that the reason why this happened actually had nothing to do with the game, and it had everything to do with the company just doing this out of an abundance of caution to avoid ire from the government. The same thing is in other studios that make games in China as well. It's pathetic to me. It's just so pathetic.
Gamers on the internet, and everything since its launch has only worked to further that image. Wukong was a monumental hit. There's no denying that. Within days, it skyrocketed to the 7th most played game on Steam of all time. The peak concurrent player count.
If you're
of
down, it's better just to
2.4
stay
million
down,
players, but
'cause then he
numbers
misses
aren't
his follow-up.
everything.
Then what is?
Banana, the viral clicker game that generates Steam Marketplace items, has a higher 24-hour peak than Black Myth Wukong right now by over 100,000 players. Avengers, Infinity War, and Spider-Man No Way Home are among the highest grossing films of all time, but they didn't walk away with the pinnacle Oscar for good reason.
Avengers Infinity War should have won Oscars. It was an S-tier movie, and it was a cinematic accomplishment that we haven't seen probably more than like a dozen times. It was the culmination of a 10-year story that has been
I
built
kind
up
of agree with this,
and
yeah.
translated into film and put together. It's not even remotely close. Like, I love how there's these people that think that, like, wow, like, I'm so smart. I'm somehow, like, mentally superior because I don't like comic book movies. It's just like, that's like Reddit tier intelligence. That, like, oh, comic book movies are, like, low quality. It was an amazing movie. Any normal person could see that.
Sales do not equal quality, but Black Myth Wukong has been weaponized in a culture war ever since it was announced, and it doing well has only been used as ammunition to argue that games media is out of touch with gamers. Not being nominated.
They are. Games media is absolutely out of touch with gamers. If they weren't out of touch, they wouldn't be doing mass layoffs. The reason why they're doing mass layoffs is because they're not making enough money. And the reason why they're not making enough money is because the products that they're putting out don't have an audience that they can make enough money with anymore. It's very simple.
Oh, you
Anybody
got
can
me.
see them.
It's over. L.
Like, I just...
In the embrace of
Yeah,
messiness.
that's exactly what's happening. Remember, mass layoffs are hitting the Western studios the most? Well, not only are they hitting them the most, you know what Capcom is doing? Capcom is hiring people.
I think this is a good point too, that like the gaming market in the West is just completely like broken. Like all the major gaming companies out there right now are just kind of hemorrhaging money, like releasing flop after flop. And Japanese studios are just doing incredibly well. Like almost every Japanese game that really... Okay. never mind. Let's not say that. A lot of the big players in the industry right now are Japanese gamers. Let's be real. A lot of the big games that come out of Japan right now, honestly, even China, because Wukong was insane, are the contenders for Game of the Year. Pretty much nothing made by Western studios is really even doing anything. You know, fucking Dragon, is it? Oh shit, what is it called? Dragon Veilguard? Something Veilguard. I don't even know this series because it pisses me off so much. Or like I barely care about it. Hold on. It's here somewhere. Dragon Age. Oh, that's what it's called. Dragon Age the Veilguard. It's just, it released and it's just the most like, I don't know. It's every stereotype you could ever make about Western games, all compiled into one game. It's actually a piece of art. It's crazy. It's crazy that they were able to do that. We have all the stereotypes.
From Software recently
It's like
announced
Smash Bros, but they have all the stereotypes.
they were raising the,
We're all
the
here.
baseline salary at their company. So this problem is not with games; it's with the specific people that are making games. From Software is raising rising wages. Yeah, Bandai increased wages. Yeah, there you go.
The Year Awards, it's October, it's likely going to be in the mix for a lot of sites, and still could be up for many categories at the Game Awards, is just more fuel to prove that point. It hasn't upset fans because they think it's a good game deserving to be among the best. It has upset fans because they see its absence as an attack in their one-sided feud.
It's crazy the amount of gaslighting that an article like this can do, because the one-sided feud, well, what about when you started writing articles about it saying that it was bad? How is that one-sided? It's dishonest. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing how this happens. They started it. They absolutely started it. And also, I think that a lot of people thought the game was deserving because it was the best. Like this idea that like, oh, people only like Black Myth Wukong because it's a non-woke game. Nobody thinks that. That's stupid. Like it's unbelievable how dishonest these people are.
As we edge nearer the big celebratory end-of-the-year closer that is the Game Awards, we are going to see this outrage spiral. If Black Myth Wukong doesn't get a nomination for the main award, it has a few competitors to shut out in Best Action, its fans will see that as a personal slight. We're witnessing it already, and I've seen my colleagues get
Well,
attacked.
they will see that as a personal slight because it is a personal slight. It's like if you look at the sun, you'll see that it will burn your eyes. If you put your hand on something that's hot, it will burn you will see that it will burn your hand. Yes, that's correct, because it is.
Over the past year just for covering the game. If fans are this riled up by an award ceremony many self-proclaim they've never heard of, or a
quick
list
enough.
of front-runners that means very little, then I can't see being snubbed from the Game Awards going down well.
Of course not.
Man, the lack of self-awareness when saying that the sales of the game
Is
were
he literally showing women in the game in Black Myth Wukong? Like there's four, I count them, 4 different women I'm seeing on the screen right now. There is women in Black Myth.
used as ammunition in a culture war, while you yourself are focusing purely on the sales of the game to minimize the entire discussion around the game. That's interesting.
I'm seeing 4
It's
different
convenient to go
ladies.
after the outrage of those.
There's also another big problem that, like, a lot of the writing that's on these websites they're very bad. Like, these people are not very persuasive, and they're either, basically the writing is either equivalent to Dragon Age Veilguard, or it's a theater kid that's trying to show off that he owns a thesaurus. There's no, like, genuine, like, good, like, like, communication that has any form of edge to it at all.
Who can't voice their concerns properly because the writer is absolutely right. Sales does not mean a game should be Game of the Year. If sales were the leading factor, then Baldur's Gate 3 should have lost to Hogwarts Legacy, or Call of Duty should have won for 5 years straight, since it was the best-selling game since 2017. There are a slew of other factors here that should be discussed, but the writer and other media pundits aren't taking the time to discuss that. They're just hand-waving the angry gamers and throwing it out into the bin with the rest of the culture war commentary. Now my question is, why is
Which,
it...
by the way, they do all the time. Like, you have to keep in mind that this whole idea of, like, a culture war, people that play video games that are, you know, quote, capital G gamers, they're on the defense of that. Gaming was fine. Everything was great with gaming. Then you had people come into gaming and expect changes, appropriations, and exceptions, and
Message
different
praise
types
clutch.
of modifications to it. And now they're changing it to be the way that they want. So, what is this like? It's a culture war, but they're the ones that have inserted themselves into this space and then tried to change the space in a way that people don't want. They are the aggressors. They're the ones that are trying to do this. Other people are just trying to play video games.
that on the topic of game sales, the Chinese player base is used to minimize the overall impact of the game's sales, success, and popularity. Again, to quote the writer, the game was a monumental hit. There's no denying that. Only to follow it up with, but it succeeded because there was an untapped Chinese market of players.
Yeah.
Like, those players don't even count? Why aren't we having a discussion on why, censorship aside, Western games haven't been able to penetrate that market as effectively as Black Myth Wukong? Especially
Because they're bad. It's obvious. What are we talking about? It's obvious.
when there are that many players that can make that much of an impact on a game's sales. Black Myth Wukong is just as deserving as any other title that could go up there for Game of the Year. That's not saying that those games aren't worthy either. They are.
Phase 2.
But the thing is that it just feels like the coverage around this game, the discussions around this game, have just felt off.
It's the same thing that happened with Stellar Blade.
Ooh, fuck.
And it's the same thing that happened
have the
with
timing.
Dragon Age the Veilguard. It's very obvious that games media has their favorites, and they're looking at this.
If you can get the timing, like that, that specific, like Phase 2 isn't that much worse than Phase 1. In fact, it might be even a little easier.
Call of Duty 6,
Depending.
War with the Saddam, is Black Myth Wukong's that. This is like some like, what am I even doing? You're just gonna get banned. I don't need to pull you up and argue with you. You're just gonna... Anyway, like, yeah, as I said, we're gonna try to stop. We're gonna stop doing that in stream. Just ban them and get going. I apologize, guys. We're gonna do our best. We don't need to waste everybody's time with this. Anyway, there were a lot of games that have happened, and it's been very obvious that, and Concord is another good example, is that these games come out, and it's very obvious that there's a bias that's being expressed with games media, and you see multiple points on a line, but the moment, multiple points on a graph, but the moment that you draw the line, you're seen as a conspiracy theorist. No.
I'm actually enjoying like learning these boss fights like more fully, because like when your Shadow Tree blessing is a little too high, or you deal a little bit too much damage to bosses, you don't actually like learn the boss per se. You learn it enough just to beat it, but you don't really learn everything. So it's kind of fun. I don't know. I find it fun. I don't know if everyone does though. Part of me also feels like I shouldn't really be playing this game because I have other games I want to play. Or in my Steam library that I should probably be playing too, just for the sake of beating them. But I don't know. I don't know. I even have Baldur's Gate 3. I'm not gonna lie, and I haven't even touched it because I have Baldur's 1 and 2 that I want to finish up first. Actually, I did finish up Baldur's 1. I could just go into 2. Anyway, something to think about.
I'm sorry. No. If you want people to think that you're not doing a conspiracy, then stop doing things that look like a conspiracy.
Purposefully dishonest in a lot of ways. Black Myth Wukong was incredibly popular. It was incredibly popular with the Chinese because it was the first
Mesmer,
game that
you
really
are dishonest.
represented their culture and history in a way that could bridge the gap between nations. Players around the world loved it. They connected with it. And because of that, it brought down cultural boundaries. We don't see that very often.
And that's what's so crazy about it, is that we're not talking about the fact that, you know, we can now have a shared experience with Chinese gamers, and we can have a game that we all know and love, and we can talk
Yeah,
about
that's
it,
awesome, dude.
that more closely brings gamers around the world together because of that shared experience. We're not talking about any of that. We're talking about like some bullshit accusation. Like game journalists, it's obviously based on money. What people don't understand, they'll write whatever the fuck they're told to write. I honestly wish that it was that simple.
Should be something that everybody should be cheering for and happy for. That is the power of this hobby. That is what it can accomplish at times, but we're losing sight of that. I think this all loops back to the fact that game science did not bend the knee in fealty to games media when they started hurling accusations at them, baseless accusations at them, and demanded an answer.
And this is basically what games media does, and this is what media in general does, is that they make up lies about you, and then they try to force you to correct their lies, which then creates a power structure around necessitating their existence, and you are reinforcing that power structure. And the reason why games media specifically hated Black Myth Wukong is because Black Myth Wukong refused to play into that power dynamic. Whenever they ask questions about, you know, any of these accusations, they just said, we're here to talk about the game and that's it. And
Yeah.
so what
Based.
that does is it effectively completely removes what their power play is in the relationship. They didn't bend the knee? Yeah, exactly. Do you think it's some wounded pride that people feel? No, I think that you always have like anti-China sentiment, but I don't think that that's really the causal factor for why people are talking about this game in this way.
I don't get it, because like China, at least here in like North America, Chinese people are a minority. Like, why is... I thought these guys were like for minorities. Like, I don't know why they're trying to like... I don't know. I don't understand it, man.
Retaliate by slandering the game? Well, it's not just that. It's basically like they label the game as bad, and then the labeling of the game as bad creates a presupposition that you have to correct their bad labeling. But correcting their bad labeling creates also the implicit understanding that that label matters and what they're saying matters. So the only way that you can win is by not playing the game. You just simply do not engage with that type of behavior. They use smear tactics? They do, and it's shame tactics, exactly.
Said no comment. That has nothing to do with the game or anything else right now, and they didn't feel that it was in good faith, and they just ignored it entirely. And I think that games media as a whole took offense to that. They didn't like that too much. They don't like it when their power and position is questioned, when their authority, or what little they have left of it, is questioned. This should be a game that we should be celebrating because of the fact that it broke down cultural boundaries. Beyond that, it was a game that was absolutely gorgeous. It was coming from a studio that this is the first game that they were
game is
releasing.
absolutely
It came
gorgeous.
out
I've seen
relatively
screenshots.
polished, fresh feeling combat, boss encounters that we've never even seen before, with
Oh, I've never seen that.
stylings we haven't seen, environments we've never been in, atmosphere that was absolutely fantastic. They went out and scanned real-life statues and architecture to try to make sure that the game had the most, you know, authentic rendition possible, and they delivered on it. The game was absolutely incredible. The stop-motion animations, the anime cutscenes, and a bunch of different style of art. It was great. It was such a good game. But all of that isn't being discussed. Instead, it's all locked behind social politics. Black Myth Wukong was nothing short of a revelation for me. The game was a breath of fresh air in a world that is drowning in microtransactions and endless...
I was so happy playing this game because like the game was, I felt like I was playing Elden Ring whenever I was playing this game because of how big it was, and I could just log on and stream every day, and I would be looking forward to being able to play it again.
live service models. Much like Baldur's Gate 3 and Elden Ring, it was just a straightforward video game that focused on delivering a great experience without the baggage of modern gaming trends. Selling it at a fair price really made it shine as a prime example of what players have been craving, a complete, immersive experience that doesn't feel like it's constantly trying to upsell you. Like I said before, honestly, it's just a damn good video game.
It's crazy that like nobody's even talking about the fact that it doesn't have any microtransactions and it was a feature complete game on release. you know, there wasn't like some big issue with the game or something like that. I'm sure like some people had performance issues, the same as you do with every game. But for the most part, it was pretty much completely done.
Not a professional reviewer, but playing Black Myth Wukong was an awe-inspiring journey for me that I can't stop thinking about. From the moment that I started, I was blown away by its visuals, its gameplay, its music. Every single boss fight felt exhilarating, and I found myself savoring every single moment rather than trying to just rush and finish the game. It's a game that didn't just entertain, it resonated on a deeper level, reminding me why I fell in love with video games in the first place. Now, with that,
That's one of the things too, is that I think that the game feels like a video game.
He might be hyping it up a little bit too much, but yeah, it's a good game.
And
You can
a
tell
lot
just
of
by
games
looking at it.
nowadays don't feel like old video games. Like, I think you can compare, like, if you look at Black Myth Wukong, if you look at Space Marine 2, or if you look at Metaphor ReFantagio, you can see that the level of quality with that game and the level of like immersion and the level of escapism that game has is something that you just don't get whenever you play a game like Concord or with Dragon.
said, the other games that are out there are genuine contenders. I don't want this video to come off like Black Myth Wukong should be the only game of the year and no other game deserves it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth was absolutely phenomenal. While I know that there's some people out there that think the game doesn't deserve a spot because it's a remake, it's not. It's a full-on reimagining the combat, the storytelling, how events play out, the music, the atmosphere. All of it makes for a game that's deserving of the crown. Helldivers 2, despite its controversies, was for all intents and purposes the game to beat this year. It sold tens of millions of copies. It felt like a trip back to the old days of Halo 2 and Halo 3 post-launch, where friends are asking when you're going to get on.
Holy shit.
Staying up way too late playing the game, and all you could do was think about what was going to happen in the game next. I just recently started playing Metaphor ReFantagio.
I literally never got that.
Guys, it's likely this year's game of the year. It makes huge improvements in turn-based games. It's
Really?
music that has no right being as good as it is. Set pieces and art direction go.
Metaphor's gonna get Game of the Year? That's crazy,
and it has
actually.
Character writing and stories.
I would not have expected that.
And the authenticity that players
At least he
have been
thinks
complaining
it
for
is.
Years, the game studios can't touch.
How the fuck do you lose to this fight? This guy was a joke. Like, this shit was so easy. How you dying on this?
Ham-fisting those themes in. It is the perfect example of how to do topics like diversity and inclusivity the right
I think
way.
I'm gonna die, yeah.
I just want to emphasize that this isn't about one game deserving a title over another. Every title mentioned has its own merits and fan bases.
Okay, so you can get repass on this guy, or you can't stance break him.
And
That's
they're all worthy
crazy,
of
dude.
recognition in their own right. Black Myth Wukong, however, stands out for its originality and its cultural significance, but also for how this game has been mishandled by the media. It's a testament to how hard game science worked on their game and the fresh perspective that they bring. After all, that's what games should be about, creating experiences that are resonating and bringing us together, not just the ones that fit into a narrow definition of success that is made up by a handful of writers.
You know, I'm starting to have people that, like, are not representative at all of what gamers actually want.
To realize that access journalism doesn't work in both ways. You know, because they want to make sure that they're trying to stay in line, that they're doing their best to be able to hold on to their contacts, their insider information, get their keys and their codes, and make sure that they can hold on to their jobs and their relevance. But on the other end, when it comes to some of these smaller studios and publishers, they desperately need the help of games media to be able to be noticed. Get in front of the eyes of players in the first place. Get their trailers out there, articles written and things like that.
You don't need to do that anymore. All you need to do, if you have a really good game, is you post it on my subreddit.
Literally.
And, then, if it's good, I'll watch the trailer. It'll get...
Literally, like, the real journalists of this day and age are fucking YouTubers. YouTubers and Twitch streamers, because they're the actual, like, the access journalists. Like, if you get a YouTuber to play your game, or a Twitch streamer to play your game, that's all the advertising you need. You don't really need a journalist anymore.
It upvoted, and then I'll put out a clip or a video of the game, and it will get more engagement and more views than all of these games websites put together. Problem solved. Don't worry about it.
Hit them in the algorithms and whatnot. And I think that
Just
some
the
of
way
these
it is.
journalists that are out there view that as an opportunity for them to throw their weight around. That's where they get to be the bully this time. They get to push everybody else around and tell them the way that it's going to be. And I think that Black Myth Wukong stood in opposition to that, and they didn't like it too much. And it might not be all of them. I'm not going to say it's every single one of them. There's some damn good journalists that are still out there. I know you guys are probably shaking your heads. No, there's no way. Believe me, they exist. I have a few of them that are out there that are some of my favorites. But with that said, I think that's the case here for Black Myth Wukong. You know, it's not about sales and it's not about scores. It's about fairness and image. And I just do not think...
Yeah, they're not fair. They're not fair. They're biased, and everybody can see it. And trying to patronize the people that are recognizing this and like make them feel stupid for seeing what's very obviously in plain sight. It's just not going to work.
Like under any circumstances, the Black Myth Wukong was painted in the same colors as some of the other games that we've seen this year. Even games that had controversy. Pal World, I mean, that game...
Again, Dragon Age the Veilguard rated higher than Black Myth Wukong.
It's just crazy.
If that's not evidence of a bias, I don't know what is. It is very, very clearly a bias. Fucking joke, hate, that's why. Yeah, no, I'm literally being serious.
Game got
Space Marine 2 got the same rating as Conqueror. How does that happen?
dreaded by games media. They hated that game even though the players liked it. But even still then, I don't feel like the game got dogged on this hard. Going back, Helldivers 2, they went through their entire controversy. Games media didn't even want to touch it. They didn't even want to talk about it. They just brought it up slightly and then walked away from it. Just let the game...
I think that I'm going to come out with a conspiracy take here, but it seems like the way that people and games journalists cover Sony games is more biased, and I'm concerned that there could be some access journalism that's happening in the background that I'm not aware of. Because I've seen a lot of instances where different journalists and different people that are involved in games have had relationships and they've used words that are extremely soft on Sony products. And I just feel like, again, if there's enough points on a graph, you can't blame me for drawing a line. I'm not saying that there's something bad out there that's happening, but it sure seems kind of interesting.
Gamers be mad. And I think the reason why is because they just didn't see it from our perspective. They didn't care to see it from our perspective. Which then brings me around to this idea.
Okay, the whole thing with the stance breaks, man. It's throwing off my game now because I'm going for stance breaks instead of... Alright, just calm down. Stance break is a bonus. It's not something you necessarily go for with this build.
That when it comes to a game like Black Myth Wukong or even...
Maybe you guys bring up a good point about Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade is a point against what I'm saying. Yeah, no, that's a good point. It's important to keep that in mind. I'm not right about this 100% of the time, but it's enough for me to be concerned.
Like Space Marine 2, probably less so on that one. I think that there are some writers, some journalists that are out there that see that these games are being used in a culture war, that they are diametrically opposed to whatever side of that culture war is, and they do not want to give them a win under any circumstances. Yeah, and that does affect their review at the end of the day. They don't want to hand that over to them. They know that they're going to use it as ammunition against them, and they're never going to hear the end of it. And as a result, all points get docked, the image of the game gets smeared, and this is the result that you get. I don't know if that's going to be the end result of all of this, but looks like it is.
Well, the end result of all of this is that these companies will go the way of Kotaku. Kotaku has had to do multiple layoffs. They're pretty much laying off everybody, and they're basically speed running their own careers. Eventually, there won't be any more games media outside of maybe a handful of YouTube channels, etc.
and the ones that still remain will probably only remain because they're being kept on life support by their better components on YouTube. And so, and the reason for that, by the way, is because they're spreading misinformation, and what they're saying isn't accurate towards the perspective of a lot of people. That's the reason why. It's not like they're dying. I think that this is a natural outcome of the market, but I think that they are accelerating that outcome with their behavior.
One thing the reviewer or the writer did get right, there's a lot of games to be vying for a spot as Game of the Year this year. It's
crazy.
A lot of games. We've had some awesome games released. And there's still more that are right around the corner. Stalker 2 is, I think, next month. We just had,
Okay, well, they've been saying that
Call
about
of Duty.
Stalker 2 for
Black Ops
years.
6 just came out recently. That game got reviewed really well. It did really well.
I don't know
The
if
players
Stalker-
seemed to really
is Stalker
like it,
2
which is
actually gonna
crazy
come
for
out
a
this
Call
year?
of Duty game, but I mean, stranger things have happened. So who knows? Maybe there's something else that's sleeping in the wings that we don't know that's going to come out and get a bunch of 10s and 9s.
Like, yeah, is Stalker 2 really going to come out this year? Like, they've been saying Stalker 2 is going to come out for like 3 years in a row. Since like fucking COVID, maybe. But yeah, I don't know if actually Stalker's actually going to come out. Kind of doubt it. I kind of doubt it. I'm gonna be real with you. I kind of doubt it.
I hope so.
Anyway,
I really
thank you
hope
guys
so.
for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to share the video with your friends. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what game you think is going to be Game of the Year, or what game you want to be Game of the Year.
I think
And,
Black Myth,
outside
and
of
if
that, my
not Black
friends, stay
Myth,
cool, stay
I
righteous,
guess
stay safe.
Metaphor, but
Make
that's
sure to
crazy
catch
to
me in
say.
the next video, catch me live on Twitch, and I'll check you guys next time.
I would never expected Metaphor.
What's so
I don't
funny
think Persona
about
5
this
even
is
won
that
Game of the Year, actually.
How is it that it's
Using my link in the pinned comment or description below. With new
I have to
vehicles,
play that game.
massive new updates, and bonuses for new and returning players, it's the best time to play the game. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring this video. Of course.
not ever. Just a minute. Let me go ahead and look at this here. I
Ow.
think that it's very obvious that they worked in unison to try to delegitimize Black and Blue. I do. I feel like it is a conspiracy. It's like, I'm the kind of person, like, I try to be as much of a logical person as possible. And when I look at how things occurred and like what the pattern of behavior was, why? The reason why is because of the way that every single game review talked about points that were the same, but that were all wrong. So, like, here's a really good way to tell whether a story is accurate, and also here's another good way to tell whether a story is shared between multiple
I keep going
people.
for stance breaks, but
You look at
I should not be
individual
going for
details,
stance
and you
breaks.
see how many of them line up and how many of them don't line up. And so, like, in order to tell, like, whether somebody is telling the truth or lying about something, or whether people are working together with something, if you look at certain types of language and certain phrases that are used and certain points that are made, and if you see these things happening over and over and over, in a lot of cases, that probably indicates that there is some degree of collusion or some degree of bad behavior that's going on in the background that you might not know. So it's probably more simply plagiarism. No, and I think that you make a great point with plagiarism. If
Yeah, I'm at
people
that
are
point
using
where
the
I'm just
example of
making
Return to Form
mistakes.
with Dragon Age Veilguard. I don't think that that's enough. But what I'm talking about are
might
entire
head to bed
sections
soon.
and focuses about, like, for example, you know, like the not having women in Black Myth Wukong. Like, this was referenced in like a bunch of different reviews, and it's not something that it seemingly anybody cares about outside of the reviewers. And I think also the accusations that were completely baseless that were made against the studio that made Black Myth Wukong being referenced by other video game companies or publishers, or sorry, journalist companies. And this is the way that they create power, is that one of them makes a lie up, and then the other ones reference the lie, and then other people reference the reference, and then the lie becomes codified into fact. That's how people do a journalism. And I think it's a huge problem. And yeah, I do genuinely think that I think it is a conspiracy.
I actually do.
in the
Yeah, I'm at that
embrace
point. I'm just making
Like,
mistakes.
I try to be a logical person.
I don't know what I'm doing.
try to be a reasonable person. And I look at how this happened and the order of events, and there's no way that I cannot come to that conclusion. So yes, I think it is. It's that simple. Welcome to today's media journalism, all of it. Yeah, and you can look at the way that they treated Hogwarts Legacy. You can look at the way that they treated Stellar Blade. You can look at the way they treated Concord, and you look at the way they treated Dragon Age Veilguard. All of these things point to the same direction, and I'm the crazy one for noticing. No. Nope. Not gonna happen. I see it, you see it, everybody sees it, and we're sick of being told that we don't. So that's what I think. Great fucking video. I love this fucking video. This is amazing. This has been a massive video. We're gonna watch it.
All of Ubisoft. I don't like to hold my tongue. I like to speak my mind. From my perspective, when I see a company that's failed to deliver quality to their customers,
Ubisoft, L plus
completely
ratio.
ignored any criticism, whether that be from the industry itself, and critics, or fans, they get what they
I don't know what I'm doing,
in a
dude.
piece of
I'm
Ubisoft,
just
this is a victory for
embrace.
falling
exactly
off, brother.
what we want to see.
Okay,
Because if you're not working for us,
What I'm going to do, I'm gonna go grab some grub, munch on some grub, and I might head to bed soonish. It is my bedtime technically, and I don't want to ruin up my sleep schedule too much. Oh, I should have grabbed food a little while ago. Fuck, I screwed myself. All right, whatever. I will be BRB in like 10 minutes ish, and then might watch some videos and then call it a day today. BRB, I think I'm at 123. Dude, that is like that is like 80 deaths on this one boss. For real, for real. All right, I will BRB. Catch you guys in a minute. Dude, my fucking... My mute button doesn't work anymore. This is gay. Alright, I gotta manually mute this. Yo, what's up, chat? We're back. Wonder if there's any more videos I want to watch. The Ubisoft one is real fun. I might want to watch this actually. Actually, I think I should remove that one. Window capture. Uh-oh. There we go. Very cool. And honestly, that should just be like above that one. Yeah, there. And we'll hide that. Firefox corner. Actually, what I want to do here is I want to remove the top bit. I don't know if I can do that. Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, you'll love to see it. There we go. Okay. Firefox full. Yeah, let's see. Is there anything I want to watch today? I like this video. I think this is a good video. Actually, maybe I don't want to show this. Maybe I don't want to be showing this whole thing. Alright, I will look in the background. Oh yeah, Asmon got banned and shit. That's crazy. Smuggalana makes some good videos sometimes. I enjoy watching her channel too. Recently. Okay, I've seen all these videos though. I don't really feel like watching them. Who else is there? Critical is pretty cool. Well, I don't even watch Critical actually. Ooh, Arno. There was a video.
Hello,
My
guys
brother,
and gals.
my boy,
New to horror.
released.
2020 has been an absolutely abysmal year for a lot of people. I mean, we've definitely had escalations of bad, 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 bad. Oh, look, here's some more bad. But what if I told you there's some shining light at the end of 2020? And so that makes me just that much more happier. Now, a while
I don't
ago,
know what is
where I
playing
talked
right
about
now. YouTube fucks up sometimes like this. I mean, there's nothing really I want to watch here. Who else is there? Jesus. Maybe we just watch.
You're working against us, and that's what they've been doing for years. So, when you're a company that's recognized as Ubisoft, one of the most recognizable names in all of gaming, they're a cornerstone of AAA, you're going to have some ups and downs, but over the last few years, they've had a lot of downs. They've been digging a grave that I don't think that they can escape.
I don't know if they can either, honestly. Because the problem is that the company's reputation is damaged. And if you compare this to, let's say, like Blizzard's reputation is damaged, and that is like, it's so harmful. I don't think people respect and put enough value on the importance of reputation. Because if you don't have that reputation and it ends up like, you know, getting away from you and you lose the narrative, you are in a very, very bad situation. At least 4 years to recover the reputation? No, I think it's 10 years. I think you need to have like at least 5 and usually 10 years to rebuild your reputation. Like, think about companies that have done it. It takes years and years and years.
Quality, repetitive games, lack in player interest, controversy. Now their own investors are calling for their leadership to be ousted and for the company to be sold.
Which is crazy.
How do you get yourself to that point? That's what I want to answer today. There's a lot of other companies that are traveling this road to ruin, and I want this to be a lesson to all.
I think he's also right that a lot of companies are trying to do what Ubisoft does because they just want to make more and more.
So I'm gonna be real, right? I used to play Ubisoft games. I used to play a lot of them. But the thing is, right? I used to be an Assassin's Creed enjoyer. But around Black Flag, I started feeling like... It's actually before Black Flag, around Unity. I started feeling like this series is kind of played out. I don't really want to play more of this. And then, so I never came back. I didn't come back for Syndicate. I didn't come back for Origins, even though people said Origins was good. I'm going to change the text here. I should honestly make this like a separate scene, but yo, fuck it. But yeah, that's what my experience with Ubisoft. I really love the Rayman games. The Rayman games went so hard, dude. It was crazy.
More products to make more and more money. That's the reason. It's that simple. And you're seeing a lot of Western companies do this primarily.
So let's talk about the rise and fall of Ubisoft. As of recording this video, Ubisoft stock just hit a low that they haven't seen in over a decade. Their stock prices...
The funny thing is now, it's even lower. Like, let me see if I can I find it? No, it's not on here anymore. Yeah, it's like this was from like a week ago or a few days ago. So like now it's even worse than it was in this video.
Almost 84% over the past few years, and with recent releases like
High,
Skull
low,
and Bones,
so lower.
Assassin's Creed Mirage, X-Defiant, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Star Wars Outlaws, and the upcoming Assassin's Creed Black Shadows, nothing seems to be able to pull them out of this death spiral, no matter how many games they release in quick succession.
Well, think about how many games he just listed off. Like, that was like 7 games or something like that. Of course they're, like, I mean, it's just you're spread so thin. What do you expect?
When a company releases 6 games over the course of a couple years, that's usually the sign of success. But in the case of Ubisoft, each release seems to be taking them one step closer towards the brink of collapse.
I don't think that's an example of success at all. The only games that bring out 6 games in a year, the only companies that bring out 6 games in a year are mobile game slot companies. Nobody's bringing out 6 games in a year. Who the fuck does that? Yeah, there's no way.
So how did this happen? Why did this happen? How does a cornerstone of the AAA industry
Capcom? I don't think even Capcom does.
Grace?
And if they do, it's a
remaster. To answer that, we need to go back and look where Ubisoft came from, where it peaked, and where it fell. Ubisoft, like many developers, cut their teeth on PC games in the late 80s. A game company initially started by the 5 Guillemot brothers, who still own and operate the company today, initially focused on games distribution as they slowly moved into games development. Titles like Zombie, Prince of Persia, and a few others helped them to gain a foothold, but it wasn't until 1995 the company would make a name for itself. Rayman exploded on...
Hold on. I just saw something. I don't know if this is real. I have no idea if this is real. But I hope to God it is. Oh. That's all I wanted to do. Anyway. Man, ever since the Diddy situation and also the fucking Epstein situation, like I've lost all confidence in anyone in power. We needed a retard to do this. Damn. That's funny as shit. We needed someone to do this, brother. Like, this needs to happen. I really want to see this. It hurt so much to see Stephen Hawking on that list because Stephen Hawking's one of my heroes. You know, I'm a physics nerd. I like physics, so it was... Anyway, it hurts too much to even talk about, but the elite of this world's like the rules apply to everyone except for the elite of this world, and we need some kind of public accountability that, you know, bad people can't just get away with everything. You know? I hope something good comes out of this. I really want this to happen. I want to see these lists. I know there's probably a reason they don't show the lists right now. But I think we deserve to see it. Anyway.
A game using interactive and creative puzzle and platforming
this is from
mechanics
back in the
we hadn't
day.
even seen before. It sold over 400,000 units by the end of the year, becoming the most popular game in Europe and cementing itself in gaming history. Following their success came rapid expansion. By the year 2000, Ubisoft saw exponential growth on their publishing side with major victories on the Dreamcast, with titles like Grandia 2, my favorite JRPG of all time, Tokyo...
I feel like the Dreamcast was like fucking like, who the fuck? Did any of you guys have a Dreamcast? Because like, am I the only one that like, my mom wouldn't buy me one because of how expensive it was? Dreamcast was like crazy overpriced.
Extreme Racer, F1 Racing Championship, and Taxi 2. However, it was on the PlayStation 2 that Ubisoft would find its identity. While they were still publishing great games like FromSoft's Armored Core 2 and Eternal Ring and Snowblind Studios' Champions of Norath, it was during this time that Ubisoft acquired the license to use Tom Clancy's stories and name in a series of games.
Did they really publish FromSoft games? Once upon a time? That's crazy.
With Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon and later Splinter Cell taking the stage. After this, Ubisoft went on a blitz with original titles, quickly rolling out sequel after sequel. Splinter Cell kicked it off in 2003 with Pandora Tomorrow in 2004, Chaos Theory in 2005, Double Agent in 2006.
Yeah, like I remember these games, you guys, like these games were like as big as COD. Like Splinter Cell was massive. What's weird is like I never even really liked Splinter Cell that much because it was a stealth game. I like, you know, shooting games like Halo and stuff like that. But yeah, they were massive.
Ghost Recon launched in 2002. It had a sequel in 2004, a next version of it with Advanced Warfighter in 2006, Advanced Warfighter 2 in 2007.
So like back then, right? You had the duology. If you wanted a stealth game, you had Splinter Cell and Metal Gear. Oh, how things changed, by the way. Because Metal Gear is not even like a... Metal Gear doesn't exist anymore, and Splinter Cell died off like years ago.
Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time came out in 2003, and yep, just like the others, it saw rapid follow-ups with Warrior Within in 2004 and Two Thrones in 2005.
It was crazy to see like some of those old games that have better gameplay than what we have now. It's actually nuts. I don't know how that happens.
Around the mid-2000s, Ubisoft must have realized that this rapid pace was not sustainable, and it started to affect the quality of their games. Later releases took longer. The next Prince of Persia game didn't appear until 2008, and it took 4 years to develop the next Far Cry game from the original that came out in 2004. Despite this intense schedule, Ubisoft was holding its own against rivals in Activision with its military shooters and competing against Konami's Metal Gear Solid through Splinter Cell.
Why did they stop making military games? Do they still make military games? I feel like they don't as much, right? Because of COD? Do they make COD?
I guess.
I don't think that Ubisoft makes Call of Duty. Activision makes Call of Duty. It's too controversial. They make, yeah, I guess they make Rainbow Six. Yeah, okay, all right, they still have that.
Yeah.
Isn't that the game that they're adding in a person in a wheelchair? They're adding in a person in a wheelchair to Rainbow Six? I'll be right back. This ain't the military anymore? Yeah, because it's like, you know, if you go into military, like, it's just, what's that? Like, it's so stupid. Like, how do you...
I'm gonna go put my plate away. I'll be
Regardless of their success in publishing, developing, licensed
actually have like the Persona 3 Reload soundtrack. I don't know why I haven't been using that. Why have you not been using that? So remember, kids, after you eat, you're not supposed to go to sleep. You have to leave like a bit of time between your eating time, which is why I ate right now. We're literally at my bedtime, by the way. I need to fix my sleep schedule, man. Like, it's crazy how bad my sleep schedule has been recently. It's absolutely insano mode.
IPs and military shooters, it was the release of Assassin's Creed in 2007 that sent Ubisoft into orbit. And it
Yeah,
bridged the
this
gap.
game was the fucking, like, I remember I never played the original one, but I would see it all the time. Like, if you go to GameStop or something like that back in the day, it was everywhere. Finally, I can play myself as Rainbow Six. What? Yeah, exactly. But, like, yeah, I mean, this is... I feel like Assassin's Creed is probably the one that Ubisoft is known the most for right now,
Oh yeah,
I would say.
most definitely.
With a title that appealed to audiences worldwide. There was nothing like it in the market at the time. This game was an enigma. It was far and away the best-looking game on consoles. Its fluid movement, parkour, and combat felt alien. Its setting of reliving our ancestors' memories while we chase a relic and try to stop the shadow government Templars was fresh and original. Assassin's Creed defined modern gaming at the time, and it made Ubisoft a household name. Ubisoft was everywhere at this time. You'd be hard-pressed not to turn on your console or turn on your PC and see that logo pop up. And it wasn't just the games that they were making, it was the games that they were publishing. They had such a good eye for talent, such a good eye for great games. And as a result, they made a ton of money. They published...
Yeah, the moment you get grabbed, you're fucked.
Some of the history of all the different games that they had published over the years.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Man, these guys were great.
The Kings,
But
man.
it wasn't just those games as well. It was also the successes that they were seeing with the games that they were making. They had such a fresh and...
How do you do that? Like, that's crazy for me to think of. Because, like, they published Devil May Cry 3 too?
That's crazy.
What the fuck happened?
What happened, man?
That's crazy. Like, how? I don't even understand. Like, that's unbelievable.
high quality outlook on all the games that they were creating. They were really leaning into presentation more than anything else. They wanted to make sure that their games just looked the best. Hands down, bar none, no competition. And they pulled it off. Advanced Warfighter 1 and 2 were some of my favorite shooters of all time. Kind of more Call of Duty games at the time. They're likely the games that ended up inspiring Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1 and 2. If you look at Splinter Cell and Metal Gear Solid, they leaned really hard into the stealth aspects and spy aspects of those kind of games, and as a result, we found
They used to be such a contender.
Really unique experience that you weren't getting from the Metal Gear Solid games. Right. While the narrative wasn't nearly as strong, it was still pretty good, but the gameplay was completely different. Then you bring out Assassin's Creed, and that just took the quality to a completely different level. At this point, with Ubisoft, if you're buying one of their games, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have your socks knocked off. They were incredible experiences, and Ubisoft knew that. They capitalized on it, and they profited. Following the release of Assassin's Creed...
It's crazy to see how popular they used to be. Like, I feel like I really kind of downplayed
It's
how
the
big
same with
Ubisoft
like every
was.
big
I
company.
didn't understand
They used to be
how many other games they
incredibly
also published.
popular.
That's incredible. Like, yeah, old games were good, yeah.
2007, Ubisoft entered into a golden era that solidified their place as one of the leaders in the AAA industry. The success of Assassin's Creed was not just a one-off hit, it was a flagship franchise that grew in scope and ambition with each installment. Assassin's Creed 2 in 2009 expanded upon the original's foundations with deeper gameplay mechanics.
It's also like in 2009, okay, this is a very good image. But like if you look at the gameplay here, 2009, that's really good graphics. I think this is another component that people might
losing
forget,
the
is that,
flow,
like, I
man.
know that like for Black Flag and a few other games that Ubisoft did, like their graphics for the time were like next level. They were really good.
Deeper gameplay mechanics, a more engaging narrative, and a charismatic protagonist in Ezio Auditore. Still the best protagonist in all of Assassin's Creed. The game was a commercial and critical success, selling over 9 million copies and becoming one of the most celebrated entries in the entire series. The success continued with Assassin's Creed Brotherhood in 2010 and Assassin's Creed Revelations in 2011. In combination with this, Ubisoft was experiencing major successes with their Far Cry series. Far Cry 3 in 2012 was a groundbreaking title that redefined open-world gaming. It introduced vast, explorable islands filled with diverse environments and a gripping story, and one of the most memorable protagonists in all of gaming history. And I think that character shows just how far Ubisoft today has fallen from where they came from. No shot Ubisoft ever makes a villain like this again.
I'm sorry, what did you say? What did you
I love Voss,
Did you
dude.
want me to slice you open like I did your friend? Shut the fuck up! Okay? I'm the one with the fucking dick. Look at me. Look me in the fucking eye. Hey! You fuck! Look me in the eye. You're my bitch. I rule this fucking kingdom.
Far Cry 3 sold over
God, Far Cry was so good. Far Cry 3. Like, Voss was... I've never even played the game, but I know about Voss. I've watched clips about Voss. I'm obsessed with the guy. I haven't even played the fucking game.
Man. So they actually just pussified their games. That's what I think it is. They pussified the games. That's what it was. Yeah, because like I watched this, yeah. That's it, has a good, yeah. Villain of all time, because like I compare this dialogue to the dialogue in Star Wars Outlaw. You know?
10 million
Ubisoft
copies.
No
Today,
comparison.
best
Yeah.
games of the generation, setting a new benchmark.
Do you
for
know the
open world
definition of
games.
insanity? Actually, that is so real.
Far Cry 4 in 2015 and Far Cry
I may or
5
may
in
not know
2018,
the definition of
expanding
insanity.
on the franchise's formula,
I'm literally
mechanics,
doing this again.
narrative. By 2018, Far Cry 5 was the fastest selling title in Ubisoft's
I'm literally fighting this boss again and
5
again.
million copies within the first week.
I'd make Voss
solidifying
proud.
the franchise's place in history. In parallel with the success that they had going on with the Far Cry series, Tom Clancy's Rainbow
I
Six
feel like what really is poison for a lot of games is that when the game has like limits that it won't go to. And I think that's what happens with a lot of companies is that like there's like an edge that the company has or the games have that then they kind of get afraid of. They're like, now we're afraid of this edge. And I feel like it was so crazy for me to play Cyberpunk 2077 and then to have right before that played Starfield. Like it was like two completely different experiences, right? And I feel like that's what's happened with a lot of these game companies is that I don't even really know why, but so many of their games are just classic. They're just like they're just like there's no like I don't know, like I'm trying to think even like what the word, they're soft, yeah, like they're soft, like everything is yeah, it's just I'm just trying to think like the best way to say it, character soul, yeah.
I think I'm getting distracted. Hold on. Alright, let's try this one time. When getting distracted, man. Choice one time only. Alright, let's go. Gotta focus on the game. I actually got that off. This is crazy. Ow. No, too early. Alright. One more time.
In the
Embrace of Mesmer's flame. I think this is an L for today. I'm not beating Mesmer today. L plus ratio. Try again next time. Oh, baby. Let's go. It's over, man. Plus it's late. I gotta go to sleep. Or I don't have to, but I would like to. Bruh.
In the embrace of
L.
Mesmer's flame.
Mesmer's fight. Mesmer's spear, if you actually play with it, is not very that good. I'm gonna be real. It's not very good. It's not very good. But at least when he uses it, it's pretty good though. My flow is completely gone. It's over. It's over. Does he have 2 different snakes on him? Oh, I think he does actually. Hold on. Let me take a look closer look. Yeah, he does. Well, he can summon 2 different snakes in phase 2. Ow. Bruh.
In the embrace of Mesmer.
Oh yeah, he does. He has 2 different snakes. Well, he summons 2 different snakes. In phase 2. Alright. Wow.
In the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
That's the one combo I'm unsure about. I don't know. Or like I get fucked up by that combo. Alright, we'll see. I think that's 3. Too slow. Choosing my heal windows pretty badly, actually. Oh man.
Restricted the grace of God, shall I death in the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
It's over, man. I'm washed. I think I'm just like tired or something. Sleepy tired. All of the above, everything. I'm everything, bro. You're my everything, bro. Ow. Should definitely get some sleep, yeah. I'll try. Ow, fuck. Bro. Look at that guy.
Mesmer's flame.
I'm like not thinking clearly. I'm not able to follow his moves as well as I was last time. Or earlier this stream. My timing's off. I'm washed. Washing pole. I love tanking that attack. Just right in the face. It's amazing. The best feeling. Ow. Ow. Alright, I'm out.
Restricted the grace of God.
I'm out.
In the embrace of Mesmer's flame.
Mesmer's flame. Alright, if I don't make any significant progress, I'm just gonna chill. I don't want to sleep yet because I literally just ate, but yeah. the next like 5 minutes or 5 attempts. If I don't make any significant progress, I'm just gonna go sleep. I don't know how I got away with that.
Degrees of gold shall all meet death in the embrace of
That is some progress.
Mesmer's flame.
Embrace of Mesmer's flame. Love the way he talks. It's weirdly kind of like he would be a good ASMR streamer. Let's put it that way. Mesmer, I have a new opportunity for you, business opportunity. Oh, you got me.
Stripped of the grace of gold shall all meet death in the
Embrace of Mesmer's flame. Somehow this became harder than Radon. Damn. The difference that Erdtree blessings give you, huh? I don't know why I think that's an opening, but it's not. I think it's an opening if he does one specific attack, which he's not guaranteed to do. Completely don't know how the button presses to dodge that attack. I'm not gonna lie. not worth it. Yeah, you need to be very directional to dodge all of that. Phase 2, poggers. Oh, it's too late. Ah, For Honor gameplay. I never played For Honor. I ain't gonna lie to you. I played like 1 hour of Chivalry, and that's my experience. That's why I think that's an opening, because it sometimes is, actually. But only sometimes. Ah, too early. Do you think you're supposed to dodge forward for that? That's why I'm fucking that up. When he does his spinny to winny. I think that is why I'm fucking that up. You're actually supposed to dodge forward. I heard For Honor is a good game though, but it's made by Ubisoft, so I don't know if we want to be supporting them anymore. That's gonna hit me. Fuck it. I can't believe I can't believe the part that I'm not gonna lie, I'm so fucked up right now. I don't even remember what I was laughing at. 41. Let's go. Something. I dodged something and got hit anyway. Oh, I remember now, yeah. I dodged into his follow-up. Based and red-pilled. Ow.